Hello, hello, beautiful earth angels. Elvia Rowe here, founder of AngelsTeach.com, and I am so blessed and honored to have you here with me today. This is our messages from the angels for the month of March, and I have to share that as I was getting ready for this video, I kept hearing this construction noise in the background. There are houses being built up all around us, and there's often construction noise. But when the noise seems to be really hooking my attention, to be capturing, that seems like a message to me. It is a message to me. And the message is that there's going to be a lot of change this spring. And there's going to be a lot of movement of the earth is what I'm hearing. And that's not a literal thing. I'm not talking in that physical sense, but in a sense of foundation is going to be changing for many of us. And in a constructive way is definitely the emphasis here. So just wanted to set the stage here with that as a backdrop because, whenever you're tuning in and listening to your angels, notice those things that really hook your attention, because the fact of the matter is your angels are always communicating with you. And when they hook your attention, when there's something in your space, your world, that feels like it has that divine magnetism, pay attention, because that's your angel speaking to you. And that's what you really need to be listening to if your inspiration is to follow your angelic guidance. So one thing I want to mention before we get started here is that I got the question about how are those numbers coming through? Because I'm going to ask you once again to choose a number 1, 2, or 3. And I've had the question, so how does that happen? And many of you probably know, and some of you may not know. And I'm actually going to do a blog post specifically dedicated to this in a few weeks here. But for now, the short answer is it's your angels, and it's your intuition. And I look at the angels as the love-based intuitive sense that is inherent within you. You were born with it. You are wired this way. And when you ask, you receive. And so you're asking your angels, number 1, 2, or 3 for me today. And that's how you're receiving one of those numbers. You may be receiving more than one number, and that's okay. But if you're clear with your angels of what is the one that I absolutely need to hear the message for right now, you're only going to hear one number, and that's going to rise to the top for you. So let's do this. Tune into your heart and ask your angels. Just get settled with your energy first, especially if you're coming from a stressful place. Just take a nice deep breath and ask which number, which image here is going to hold the message for me. Is it number 1? Is it number 2? Or is it number 3? If you have chosen number 1, this is your image. And this is our cat Cheetah, who you may have seen on our website. She appears on the website in little corners and pockets here and there. And she is, believe it or not, she's 16 years old, amazing beast. And just recently we had a snowstorm and she wanted to go out in it with me. So we took a little walk in our yard. And she's a very smart cat. And here you can see that she is using my footsteps in the snow to make it easier for her to navigate. We had about 6 inches of snow. So the message for you, my dear, is that you need to be resourceful. There's actually, it's interesting, there's 2 images that came forward this month that have overlapping messages. The one in this one is you have what you need, and it's right in front of you. The path has already been made. And so if you are doing a project and you're up against something and feeling like, well, geez, I need more of this, or I don't have that, let go of that sense of lack and stuckness, because what you have is there. And it's just a matter of looking from the right angle to see what it is that you need. Now, some of you may be thinking that Cheetah is going backwards on her path and that that's part of the message. And what you don't know, because obviously you weren't there when I took the picture, is that she's actually heading back to our house. She's going back to the stairs leading up to the back door. And, really how I pull in angelic intuition here with that is that this is about going home. This is about returning to that space in the heart. And that as you remember that you're always cared for and that everything that you need to do what your soul desires in this lifetime is right here in front of you. And it's just a matter of shifting perspective so that you can see what it is that you need to use and draw upon to do whatever it is that you're looking to manifest. So if you chose number 2, your message is actually very related to number 1. So if you were getting this, well, do I get 1 or 2, and you weren't sure which one, I can understand why, because these messages are related, but they are different. And that's why we have 2 different images, 2 different messages here. This one is a tree that has been chewed on by the beavers in a local Audubon sanctuary. And I love beavers. They're just so cool. And they're known for doing work, right? They're known for chopping down trees. They're known for creating these amazing mud huts and that have sticks and twigs and branches. And they're known for building dams, of course. But this isn't about that. This is about resourcefulness and using what you have. The difference between number 1 and number 2 is that you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to step up your game. And I'm hearing the pedal hits the metal as you follow your intention to do whatever it is that you're working to manifest, but you really need to do more to get in the game. You need to work harder. You need to be more resourceful with what you have and use that as much as possible. So a bit of a shorter message, but feels complete from this end. So let's move on to number 3. If you chose number 3, there's so much going on in this image. It's interesting to be receiving all the different messages here. Of course, front and center is the queen here, right? She's there, she's tall, she's proud. This is about you standing up and being tall and proud and the queen. And yet this is a toy store. This is a window in a toy store in Mystic, Connecticut. And there's a message, an invitation really to do that, to stand tall, to be the queen, but with levity and with playfulness. So standing strong and being proud, but not in this kind of kind of way, but in a joyous, playful, regal way that's inviting and engaging for other people. Really strong message about that. So you see that castle is in the past on the left-hand side of this image, and that's a sign, a message to us that the rigidity of structure, of hierarchy that doesn't serve is really moving out of the picture. But the queen is supported as she's standing strong and she's standing tall on her pedestal there. She has the knight on her left side, which is on the right side of the picture. This is in the future side. And I'm sure you guys know there's been so much talk and so much movement really in the feminist movement world. And there's been a lot of talk about the masculine and the feminine and how the feminine is rising and all of that. Really important that we return to a state of balance. And this pivoted knight is a message about pivoting our view of the male, of the masculine energies, and doing so with more of an openness to the future. His arms are open like this, and I see him looking for love and needing, it's almost making me teary actually, because hurt people. So if there are men in your life who are hurtful, harmful to you, remember that they have a story that got them to where they are. And it doesn't mean, please hear me correctly on this, it does not mean that you don't have proper boundaries and that you don't properly protect yourself, because that has to be a priority. It also doesn't mean that, as you need to from afar, that you can't start to understand a little bit more of their perspective and their story, and really open up to that compassionate view of whoever it is in your life, a view of the world. Because again, people got to where they are based on not just this lifetime, but lifetimes of experiences that have led them to here. And the only way, to this point, the only way that they're going to heal is through love. And again, keep those boundaries really important, and work to come from that place in that space of compassion. One last little thing here, okay, two, is all those stickers in the left-hand side, the stickiness that has been holding you back is no longer. It is in the past. The present is somewhat veiled, that pink curtain. There's something behind that veil that's going to surprise you this month and really support you in your role as a queen. So that is feeling quite complete here. Again, lots going on. Be sure to pay attention to anything that's standing out for you here, and let those angels hook you in and give you the message that you need to hear, in addition to anything else you've heard here today. So that's it, my dear Earth Angel friends. That's our reading for the month of March 2018. Please, 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 I invite you to come check us out on AngelsTeach.com. Lots going on this month. Launching the new free Angels Now webinar. Come on over to AngelsTeach.com and sign up for that. Really excited. That's been like a couple of years in the making, and I'm just really, really thrilled to be delivering that. And then, of course, our 8-week live training begins in April, which is our birthday month, 11 years old for AngelsTeach. So excited, lots going on. Love you. Listen to your angels. And always follow your guidance as best you can. Be well, my loves. Have a beautiful month.